What is going on, everybody? This is Dave and welcome back to a different video today. Something I didn't expect to make this early, or kind of didn't expect to make at all really, especially this early into the pre-season, if we can even call it pre-season yet, because there's still a lot of football being played. But as I say, quick video today. Hopefully I'm not rambling too much because this is just all off the top of my head. I've not written anything down, not really prepared for this one. And it's just my opinions really, so you can either agree, disagree, that's what it's all about. So leave your comments in the description, in the comment section rather, if you agree or disagree, what your kind of thoughts on this are, because obviously it's going to be the Paul Lambert situation. Now I might say things that you think, oh yeah, he's right, or I might say things that you totally disagree with, but yeah, let me know. So obviously back in, when was it, October, November, we got rid of Walter Zenga, we brought in Paul Lambert, who, in all honesty, I think everyone can agree was the best of a bad bunch. You know, Allardyce, before he went to Palace, didn't really want to join because a lot of people kind of put their money on him. Marco Silva, I'm not sure if we approached him or if, again, he wasn't too interested. So Lambert was really the best of a bad bunch there, and we brought him in. And, you know, in my opinion, if he didn't have a decent FA Cup run this season, I feel he would have been sacked already. I do. Now, there's a lot going on at Wolves. We don't know what's going on. The only people that know, more than likely, is Jeff Shee, the guys at Fosun, Paul Lambert, Kevin Farewell possibly, and Jorge Mendes. Now, there's rumours going around in the news, in the journalists, on the media, that Paul Lambert is threatened to leave Wolves due to the fact that Jorge Mendes is going to get quite a significant amount of authority, shall we say, on the transfer front, which Paul Lambert doesn't really like. Now, it's hard. It's hard for me personally, because obviously I want a little bit of stability in the club. I don't want to be the club in the news come 4 years' time that we've had about 8 managers in 3 years. But at the same time, as a paying fan, I want to see good football. I want to see success as soon as possible. Will Paul Lambert give us the success? I don't think so. No. And that's possibly what Fosun are seeing already. They've already spent a big amount of money, and if they want to see a successful Paul Lambert, didn't really show that, if I'm honest. Obviously, I know a lot of these guys on Twitter and so on, they want stability as well, but if I'm honest, I'm fairly more towards happy than upset about the whole situation. I'd be happy for Lambert to go. Already names linked, Karanka, ex-Middlesbrough boss. Now, I like the sound of Karanka, but this is a disclaimer for all Wolves fans, right? Obviously, I've just said I want to see good football and so on. I know Karanka plays really, really defensive football. More than likely, we'll score 1 goal and we'll sit back for the rest of the game. Now, it's up to you Wolves fans if you want to see that. But that is a disclaimer for anyone that doesn't really know how Karanka goes. But, yeah, that's the name. I'd fairly be interested in seeing him because defence has been kind of one of our main issues. I'd be very happy with that. We used to leak, well, we do leak a lot of goals. But yeah, Lambert, back to him. We don't know what's going on. Fosun may have just thought, we'll bring this guy in, just make sure we stay in the division this season. It's not as if Zenga was doing a bad job, but he wasn't particularly doing well. And see how Lambert goes. If he's a success and we win every game, perfect. If he's not that great, I mean, 22nd worst home form in the league can kind of speaks volumes, if I'm honest. So, is he going to be sacked, or is this... Is it to do with the transfers? Is he going to walk? Now, Tim Spears, Express Star journalist for Wolves, saying it's a matter of when, not if now. So it's more than likely Paul Lambert is going to walk or, again, be sacked. Now, my front on it, there's quite a lot to go through, to be honest. A lot more than I realised to talk through. Now, Lambert, positives. You know, he brought through the youth players. No manager, in my eyes, should or would have the balls to kind of be 1-0 up at the Britannia in the FA Cup and chuck on a 16, 17-year-old in Morgan Gibbs-White. Same at Liverpool, 1-0 up or 2-0 up and bringing on Connor Ronan, who's 17, 18 years of age. So fair play to him for that. But transfer-wise, I mean, in an ideal world for a lot of fans, they'd want Jorge Mendes and Paul Lambert both to work together. And there's a lot of people saying, well, half of his transfers haven't really worked out, Jorge Mendes. But if you look at Kevin Farewell signings, or signings that we've made as a club in the last 4 or 5 years, only one stands out, and that's Benicophobe. Other than that, no one really. Connor Cody, maybe, at a push, is a decent signing, but everyone else has failed. Players Mendes brought in, you've got Helder Costa, obviously, player of the season, player of the season last year for, well, this season for Wolves. Ivan Cavalera's shown glimpses of brilliance. I think he saved us from relegation. You know, people don't realise that. Okay, you might have seen him have one or two bad games, but he was good. He was a brilliant player for us and kept us up from relegation. You look at, you know, Sace is shown again flashes of brilliance when he's played. He's had a lot of time out and so on. So, you know, we've just got to take a look and think, signing-wise, who we're going to trust here. I personally would trust Lambert. Not trust Lambert. I'd personally trust Jorge Mendes over Paul Lambert. Long term, we have to look at it as a club. Fosun are going to be spending a lot of money again this season. They've got to think, is Paul Lambert the right man to take us to glory? I don't think so. Not in the Championship. I think, you know, the Karanka signs kind of swing well. You got to look at it both ways as well. Obviously, Lambert, we want him to make the transfers, but because at the same time, you know, this label of head coach, is that, you know, it should have been discussed in the interviews, but head coach, that strictly means you're coaching the players. You pick the team, fair enough, you coach the players. You should have a say in transfers, I suppose, but you shouldn't be the one to dictate who you bring in as such, I don't think. And Jorge Mendes is a very, very good contact to have, and I think it would be very, very silly of Fosun to upset him. Because if we upset him, chances are players like Costa are just going to walk this summer. And that won't be any good for us at all. We want a little bit of stability in the team lineup at least. But you know there was something. You knew there was something going on when the retained and released lists were taking a little while to come out. The pre-season tours not been announced yet, so all of that's on the back burner for the time being. I want it to hurry up and be announced because obviously I want to see if I can go get some more videos out for you guys regarding pre-season. But as I say, I'm leaning a little bit more towards Lambert out. As a manager, I don't rate him. As I say, he was the best of a bad bunch at a time. There are better managers available now. And obviously there's a lot of people saying that, you know, we're just going to get a random foreign manager in. I think then they'll be very, very stupid to get someone in like Walter Zenga who never really managed at this sort of level. Who never really had any success in over 10 years. So I think, you know, Karanka, ideal. He's a Mendes man. He's got Middlesbrough out the league recently, as in last season. Albeit it took a little while. I mean, a few seasons for him to spend the money, but he did it in the end. Solid defensive football, which fans will have to realise that's going to be the way we'll play if he comes in. Not seen many other names linked to such at the moment. But I think, again, I did this on a video a few months ago when we were on the bad run, before we stayed up officially, talking about Paul Lambert, talking about the club needing a fresh slate. We're still a cosy club. There's still a cosy mentality there. And I think it's a shock to us all that Jack Price possibly going to be released. Who would have thought that 1 or 2 years ago? And whoever comes in, you need to just get rid of the staff. Just get rid of whoever there's a lot of players there that are cosy, and get a fresh change at the club. I think that's what Fosun are going to do. Get rid of Farewell as well. I think Laurie Dalrymple, I think that's his name. Hopefully I pronounced that right. He's a bit of a breath of fresh air in the marketing scheme of things. He's done 100 times better than Jez Moxie ever did, if I'm honest. So he's looking good. But everywhere else, coaching staff and so on. I think I've rambled on for a bit too long. But yeah, coaching staff we need to get rid. But as I say, they're my kind of quick thoughts on it all. Paul Lambert possibly to leave the club. I think I'd welcome it. But let me know your opinions down below on who you'd like to bring in. I'm not too sure. As I say, Karanka possibly an option. But they've got a plan in mind. And people already kind of wanted Fosun out. I'm sure you'd rather have Fosun now and have a little bit of fun now than have Morgan and Moxie back and be stuck in the Championship with no money to spend. Every day's fun. Every day's different as a Wolves fan. You never know what to expect. And a crazy twist in the tale. So hopefully you guys leave your opinions. Let me know what you think in the comment section down below. Obviously I want stability, which I've said, but Paul Lambert for me is not the man to take us forward. So I can see where Fosun are going with this. So let me know in the comment section down below what you think. Smash that like button down below. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. And obviously I'm sure we'll see more of these Wolves updates coming up very soon with some crazy things happening at the Wolves. But until next time guys, I'll see you all very soon.